Hey guys, happy 4th of July. How you doing today? Hope you're having a nice 4th of July. Hope everybody's spending some time outside, maybe doing a little barbecue with the family. Wanted to talk to you today about using some powerful tools to save you time and save you mental capacity, mental load. See, when you use these tools in conjunction together and it actually does tasks and does things for you, it saves up mental space. And when it saves up mental space, you'd be surprised how people show up, including yourself. People start showing up and they're much more willing to work with one another. They're friendly, they're nicer to be around. They're even better to be around their family and friends because they have less going on in their mind. It's just less decisions and less tasks for things they need to do. So not only does it save you time, but it saves you mental load. Now, the tasks that I'm talking about are things like skills, things like using a project, things like plugins, and things like scheduled events. And you want to use all three of those in conjunction with one another. So, how do you know whether you're using just a regular chat or you want to open up a project? Well, if it's business related, I use projects. If it's personal related and it doesn't have to do with my personal business, then I just use a chat. I use chat for casual things. And remember, like we've talked about and I've shown demos in the past, all chats have a specific purpose. And because all chats have a specific purpose, all projects have a purpose. Now, like we've also talked about in the past, when you use a project, the project context and the memory window works a little better than a regular chat. And that's another reason why you want to use it for business. So once you open up your project folder on the left-hand side, you can do this in Claude, you can do this in ChatGPT, whatever your preferred tool is, Gemini. You want to say, what's the purpose of this project? What do I need this project to do over and over and over again? Maybe it's for Excel analysis. Maybe it's for automatic response to clients. Maybe it's for some presentation I'm doing in PowerPoint. Maybe it's for some reviewing some documents or invoice claims or some repeatable process you do every week, every month, every day, every other day. So you want to check that out. And then what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I have this project folder for this repeatable process I'm going to do at some frequency. And I describe what I want in natural language. So maybe it's every Thursday, I go to this directory, you give it the directory, I open these Excel files, I combine the data this way, and then you run it. Now, once you run it, you can refine it and say, well, no, I tend to put this data here and this data there, and I tend to use this files this way and this files that way, and these fonts and these colors. That's where you can start to give the instructions to the skills. Now, skills, it's just a fancy word. You can open this stuff up in a text file, in a Microsoft Word document, just to kind of see. They're just instructions that are repeatable that you can do over and over and over again. So you give it all the instructions for this Excel file or for PowerPoint or for email or invoicing or whatever the process is. And you can add all your company's branding and logos. You can add all that stuff to it, whatever you want. So now you got your project, you got your skill, and now this is where you connect it to scheduled events. So to invoke the skill, to use the skill, you say, all right, well, I know I'm going to do this every Thursday at 9:00. So why don't I have this thing run every Thursday at 8:30? And when it's done, it just gives it to me. And I'll check that. It does it automatically. So now I'm not doing the file analysis. I'm not doing the PowerPoints. I'm not doing the correspondence. I'm not doing the billing or whatever your process is. It's doing all of that for you and it's giving you the result. Now, the next step is what you can keep refining the skill. So you can keep telling it, go into the skill file and change this to that. Go into the skill file, change the font to this. Go into the skill file, always do this. Go into the skill file, always say something like this. And it'll remember and it'll do that. And once again, the memory and the context inside of projects works better. And when you combine the projects folder with the skill is a very specific set of instructions. So the probability of it failing, that's all you're doing. You're just reducing the probability. You're just reducing the amount of tokens because you'll spend tokens on refining the skill and testing it after a couple days. But then once you get it going, it just runs. After you get that going, then you can look at it and say, how can I have this run better so it's more streamlined, so it's faster, so it costs me less tokens? You can have it do its own review, its own analysis to fix that stuff for you. Okay, great. By doing those three things, it'll save you a tremendous amount of mental capacity and mental load. Start with one task, one thing that's repeatable in your personal life or in your professional business, and you will be surprised at how much mental energy it saves you. Because now, when you log onto the computer, it just gives you the results instead of you having to do it yourself. Remember that everybody likes to use the word agents. Agents is fine. Once again, agent makes me think of something in the Matrix, but I like to use the word assistant. So when I work with my virtual assistant, who's a real human being, and I show her something, I make sure that I show her a couple times and we go back and forth until I know she has it. And then when I know she has it under control, then I let her take care of it. I don't worry about it anymore. It's the same thing with with the projects, with the skills, and with the scheduled events. Once you refine it enough, you hand it off and then it does it forever. And as you review the results, as time changes, now you have mental capacity to say, okay, well, maybe we can make this process better by doing this. Maybe we can do that. So it just saves you a tremendous amount of mental capacity and mental load. All right. If you want to just chew the fat, talk more about skills and scheduled events and how to really get good at configuring the skills file to do what you want, give me a call sometime. I love this stuff. Or if you want help, just getting going, or you're saying, well, I started playing around with it, Mark, but I think I need someone to help us really refine it. It's not really working the way we want it to. Give me a call. I love to help you guys out. We can look at this on a personal level. We can look at it on a professional level. We can really get this going for your entire business process. Okay, and let's talk again soon. Bye bye.